Hey people, on Alpacas, this is Livvy, and this is, even though there's no music, and it is kind of a serious conversation, I'm, staying a little peppy about it. I'm staying a little bit peppy about it because, as most of you guys heard, this past Thursday, I was actually in the ER. And why I was in the ER, it's a little TMI, and that's why there's a huge TMI warning in this video, so I'm not being funny or anything, it actually is a little gross. And if you want to leave the video, I'm not stopping you. You can leave the video now, watch another one of my videos, or if you're not interested in me, watch someone that you like. just watch something other than this if this doesn't make you comfortable. But, I went to the ER on Thursday, and what caused it is severe stomach pains. Severe bloating, that it was so bad I was in pain. For 4 to 5 years, I was dealing with stomach issues. I didn't know what it was, and I've been dealing it for years, and my parents just kept on thinking, whoa, it's because you're not eating right, it's because you eat a lot of cheese, which I do, I will admit that, and you're not eating the right things, and you're just not regular. I wasn't sure because I eat 1 meal a day, and sometimes a little snack here or there, but usually I eat 1 meal a day because I don't want to, worry about what time to eat, and I also don't want to worry about calories, so I just make it 1 meal, and that's it. And so I've been doing that for a few years now, and I'm guessing this was kind of the cause of it a little bit, but I didn't think, even though, some of the meals, aren't that big, I still felt like I ate at a buffet or a Thanksgiving dinner or something. I can eat as something small as, a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and after I eat that, I felt like I was eating a Thanksgiving dinner or I was at the Golden Corral or something. I was that miserable when I eat, and it's not a fun feeling you shouldn't really feel miserable when you eat. Especially if you didn't eat that much. So yeah, this had been going on for a few years, and my dad, which some of you may know that we don't have the strongest bond in the world, and he kept on saying, well, I keep jumping to conclusions. My dad was a medical corpsman in the Navy in the 80s, 70s, 80s, I think it's more the 70s, but he was a medical corpsman. And so he knows a little about medical stuff, and he kept on trying to convince me, there is nothing wrong with your stomach. And I was like, oh, yes, there is, because my stomach should not be doing what it's been doing. And I was getting, little theories in my head, is my stomach acid not digesting food? Is my intestines all scrambled up? Do I have cancer? Do I have a tight sphincter? I couldn't really understand what was going on. And also other times, I know this is where the gross stuff happens. This is when the gross stuff happens. And I know some of you probably snicker a little bit here or there about it, but I have a hard time pooping. And I also had a hard time farting. Which is, the farting thing is what really puzzled me the most, because most people, they just lift their cheeks and let it out. But with me, I really had to concentrate on letting out a fart. Most of the time, I would be laid on my bed, on my back, with my knees in my chest, and just keep breathing and pushing until something comes out. And a lot of times, it's just a little squeak. That's that, or just, just air. That's all it was. And there was one time I was squeezing so hard that I peed my pants. So I was like, that's not normal. And also, I don't fart when I sleep. I do not fart when I sleep. And how I know this is when I wake up in the morning, I was extremely bloated, which you should not be extremely bloated in the morning, but I was. And then I would try to let some gas out a little bit and worked a little bit. And the pooping, a lot of times, there would be a few days that I would not poop at all, and also, if I did poop, it would be what we would call rabbit poop, which is just little tiny brown balls. And there's some that it looks like, by the coloring, it looks like it's been in my stomach for a long time. Because, you know, like, let's say, like, you find dog poop or something outside and nobody cleaned it up, and how it would age and it would get all dry and white a little bit. Yeah, I've actually had poop that turned out like that when it came out. And so it was not normal. And for an average person to poop, it's 1 to 2 times a day. Like, you're supposed to poop every day. And as the farting, which I would be lucky if I farted like once a day, but I'm gonna Google this really quickly. I cannot believe I'm Googling this. How many times does an average person fart a day? There it is, right there. Doctors say this is from healthline.com. Doctors say the average person farts anywhere to 5 to 15 per day. Yeah, there will be times that I've had done 5, which, okay, that's fine, but I don't do it every day. That's the one thing. And I know a lot of you are snickering, or like, because, you know, I love fart jokes. I think they're hilarious, but not in this situation. Like, farting really hurts. And it's like all it is just like, or like, which it doesn't really release a lot of gas. So of course, after I do that, I still feel very painful. So yeah, those were the main symptoms. And like, you know, eating, every time I eat, I feel extremely bloated, and I don't poop every day, and I don't fart every day. And when I do poop, it's rabbit poo, and when I do fart, it's just a little bit of air. And that's all that came out. So what made me finally go to the ER on Thursday? I woke up. I was in the most horrendous pain I was ever in when it came to my stomach. And hold on, I'm getting a drink. I shouldn't really be drinking pop, but I do. It's actually on my list of things not to drink, but I do it anyway. I woke up in really horrendous pain. I was not only in pain in my stomach, but my hips hurt, my ribs hurt, my back hurts, and the back of my head hurts, which especially the back of the head and the back of the neck, that stuff most of the time does hurt a lot when I wake up, because, note, I am a back sleeper, and my pillow is getting flat, even though it says it's never supposed to flatten, but it's getting flat. And so I'm looking into getting a pillow that I was really interested in, the one with foam and gel, to see how that would fit, because I am a back sleeper, I get the best sleep on my back. But I also woke up with my blankets like just wrapped around me like a cocoon, and I was like, oh my god, ow. And then I came downstairs. I was in crying pain. It really hurt. And the one thing that made the situation, and also one of the reasons why I haven't really seen anybody yet, is I don't have health insurance. I'm finally gonna get health insurance later this year. Like, I'm hoping probably maybe later this month or next month, but I am planning to get health insurance really soon. And, so that made it difficult, because I don't have the money to pay for, you know, major stuff. Until I heard about I have a community, healthcare center, which, you know, people can go in for free if they really need help. And it's like it's a little doctor's office for, you know, people that really need help. And, that, you know, don't have insurance, don't have money. I have money, it's just not insurance. And so I was like, okay, I'll go there. And I had to go on their website, I had to print out the papers, I had to fill out the paperwork. And then, I had a hard time finding the place, and, my mom drove me there because I don't have a car. And so we went to the community healthcare center. And took us a while to find it, but we found it. It was pretty hidden, pretty good. and so I came in. Everybody was nice. It was nice. It was clean. And there was this woman that came out of the office that was a patient, and she was something else. Like, if you want to continue with my story and don't want to hear the story about this woman, this quick story about this woman, just go to this timestamp right here, then just continue with my story. But this woman, she was, I really hate using this word, but she was a Karen. And she was a crappy Karen. Like, she wasn't like, she did not have the, let me speak to your manager haircut, which I actually get pretty offended when people say I have this, because I don't, because they don't shave on the side. And I wasn't looking for that look. I was looking for, like, more of a punky look, not the may I speak to your manager look. I was looking for more of a punky look. And, anywho, but she was in the cruddiest clothes. Nothing matched, and, like, it was all tattered and everything like that. She had the clothes, and then she stands out, and then they asked her, can we help you? And then she's like, yeah, I was just, she was like, yeah, I'm just waiting for my paperwork. Oh, okay, your paperwork is actually going to be sent to this website, and they have to go over it, and then they'll send you a copy. Then she's like, oh, why can't I have it now? They were like, ma'am, they have to go over it first, and you can still have it, but you just have to get it from them. She's like, but you have it. And she was like, going on and on, making a big deal of something that's not really that big of a deal. And then she was like, starting to get pretty scary about it. And she was like, looking my way, like, that look. I think a lot of you know this look. That look, like, please help me out. And I'm like, I just, like, turned my back on her because I'm like, don't get me involved, please. I don't know what your problem is, but please do not get me involved. And then they tried to, like, be reasonable with her, like, you're still getting your paperwork, just not right this second, you'll get it later. And I don't remember if it was, like, a few days or a few hours, like, that's, like, a pretty decent wait, understandable wait. And then she's like, okay, do you understand? And then she, like, stormed out the door, and she was like, you'll be hearing from my lawyer. And they were like, okay then, okay. And I kind of laughed at that, because a woman in her condition, like, think about Veruca Salt if she lost all her money. That's this woman. And it's like, I probably have more money than you. I'm not being mean or anything, I'm just saying about this woman is, like, I don't even have a personal lawyer, so you expect these doctors that make way more money than you do to believe that a cruddy woman like you that couldn't afford a pack of gum every day has a personal lawyer. It's like, are you freaking serious? And I know it sounds a little bit mean, but yeah, this woman definitely does not fit the characteristics of somebody that has a personal lawyer. And when she got out, she was standing next to her very cruddy looking SUV, like, I'm not being mean. This SUV, I would be very scared to be a passenger in that, because it looks like it's gonna fall apart any second. That she's in this cruddy SUV, she was smoking a cigarette, and while being all mad, pouty, upset, and then she gets in her car, and then she gets on the phone, and she starts, like, screaming and crying on the phone, and I don't think that's to a lawyer. She might make them try to, like, they'll believe I'm talking to my lawyer. But, lady, you do not have a personal lawyer. You can't afford it. I can't even afford it right now. And she's, like, screaming and crying, and I'm guessing it's to, like, her husband or boyfriend or whatever. But yeah, she was screaming and crying while smoking a second cigarette. And then, she hung up, and she's, like, sitting in the car all mad and pouty, and then gets the third cigarette and then starts driving away. Lady, 3 cigarettes in a row. Seriously. Is that why? No wonder why you're here. You probably spent most of your money on cigarettes, and you're smoking way too much of them, and now you're there. But I honestly don't know what her problem was, but lady, I can already tell you, you do not have a personal lawyer, so you cannot say that. But yeah, and you know, we all saw that and we were like, okay, whatever. Like all of us were like what? We didn't understand what her major problem was, and that wasn't really a big deal to do a lawsuit fret with. But and so they were asking what my problem was, and I explained, and they were like, oh, we can take you on Tuesday, which I'm actually going tomorrow. I'm still going tomorrow. And it's like, and I'm like, both my mom and I were like, is there a way to do it sooner? Because I'm in really bad pain. I don't want to wake up with any more pain. And then they were like, oh my god, I'm so sorry. Let me see what we can do. And then they went back, and unfortunately there was nothing they can do because on that day, actually, the doctor was leaving for another assignment, and she won't return to that office until Tuesday. So yeah, I will be like the first patient that she'll have that day. And they said, but if it really hurts that bad and if you're really painful, then yeah, go to the ER and they'll understand if you don't have insurance. Which knowing that is actually great. And also we did have to have my dad help with the health thing, because I think it has to do with he is a medical corpsman, and also not too long ago, a few months ago, my dad had triple bypass surgery, and so he has other health conditions too, so he has a few records with that hospital, and I do too, just not as much as he does, and so he helped them, like, you know, take me into the ER, and then they, you know, they asked me a few questions, and so they can get an idea of what they're going to do with me and when they'll take me in. Oh my god, this story's really making my throat dry. You know, what they would do and everything like that. And then I had to sit in the ER, and my parents cannot be with me, which that's absolutely fine. I'm not a little kid. I'm almost 30, so I don't need my parents with me to wait with me in the ER. So my parents went off and did some errands, and but there were some people in that ER waiting room that I really felt they really need somebody. The only exception is a little kid. That's the only exception. But there was this really confused woman, and she kept pestering everybody and pestering the nurses, like, when am I coming in? When am I coming in? It was like this, and this woman was like, there was a short period of time that she was staring at me while I was playing on my dying phone, because I didn't get a chance to charge it, so my phone was not in good condition, and it was really hard to try to entertain myself because my phone was dying, and the only thing on the TV were politics, which I am so sick of politics. But even though, like, what just happened was a major disaster, but still, I don't need to keep hearing about it because I'm sick of politics. As you know me on Twitter, me and politics are like, I don't talk about it. I don't share what party I'm in. I don't talk about politics at all, because it's like, okay, if you're talking about politics, no matter what party you're in, keep me out of it. But yeah, that was all that's on the TV, and I'm like, can we watch cartoons instead, like SpongeBob or Bob's Burgers, or hell, I'm even fine with Teen Titans Go, and that's a terrible show, but yeah, I'm fine with that. Just anything but the news, please. That's the one thing that, yeah. And hearing, like, all these people's, like, personal stories, and some of them are, I swear, like, I picked up each age of each patient by, like, you know, they would come in and they keep asking you what's your date of birth. With me, it's 8/28, it's, like, for me, it's 8/24/91. That's my date of birth, 8/24/91. 8/24/91. And so I had to keep saying that over and over and over again. I don't know why we keep on having to repeat our date of birth, but that's, like, so I got a good idea of each patient's date of birth. But anyway, there was old people of all ages, all conditions, and I probably have I know this sounds weird, but I probably do have the most laughable conditions, because I know there's probably people that says, oh, I got hurt really bad. Oh, I had an asthma attack. I had a heart attack. You know, something, I had a seizure, something a little more serious. And then I came in and I'm like, I can't poop or fart. Yeah, which yeah, it's a little bit laughable, but it is serious, and it does get serious when I get more into the story. I waited 6 hours in that room. And I didn't know what was going on. I don't know if I had to stay overnight. I didn't know whether I was supposed to have surgery. I didn't know what they were planning to do. But it was like 9-something, and they finally took me in. They had me wait in this room, and I'm supposed to explain my... Let me tell you, that's the most awkward thing to explain to a complete stranger. But, you know, they're nurses, that's their job, so it's fine. And I was like, you know, for poop, I say go to the bathroom, and for farting, I kept on saying passing gas, because, trying to think of the medical term for it, which, well, both of those work. And so, you know, the one thing that's the toughest thing for me, so most of the time I just guess, is the scale range. On the scale from 1 to 10, 10 being the worst, and 1 being not so bad, where's your pain right now? Because, you know, the pain was a little on and off, which I should have had explained that, but it's still, we got some really good answers. So they asked me what's wrong, and, you know, they did that thing that, like, people do in checkups, that they feel your stomach. They did that with me, and they asked me, did I eat anything unusual, which, no, I didn't. And then they had to put a IV in me to put in some medicine to get ready for some test and that. Oh, and earlier I did do a blood test and a urine test. And then they were doing another test too, and they were putting all these different medicines in me, which I don't remember, like, do they normally, like, give them in pill form or anything? But they said, since you're so skinny, we have to give it to you through IV. And there's actually, I don't know how well you can see it, but there's a little black and blue mark. They put the IV right above Cuppy's straw, which is the thing that they put in my vein to put medicine in me. And so, yeah, I'm a little bruised up there. You can't really see that well, but yeah, I have a bruise right here, and it only hurts when you push on it. It's healing pretty good, because it's turning yellow. That usually means it's healing good. So, but it's because I'm so skinny that's why they had to put the IV in me, and they had to put all this different stuff in me. And then they took me into this room for a CAT scan, which I never had done before. And I never had iodine in me before, which they're going to put iodine in me. And they said, okay, for people that never did CAT scans, we have to warn people about the iodine, which I thought to myself, oh god, what about iodine? They said that the iodine, some people can be allergic to it. Which, I don't have any, allergies to medicine, to any sort of medicine or anything. So, I was like, I should be fine, but I'm still a little scared about it, because they said some allergic reactions are just, like, normal, just itchy throat or anything, but there are some that, you know, people can't breathe. Like some shellfish allergies. Like, there were some that their throat would, like shellfish or peanut allergies, like, some people's throats would, like, swell up, and they had to cut a hole in the throat to let them breathe, which I was like, oh god, please no. And they said, but you're in the ER, we'll take care of it if that happens. And so they got me in the CAT scan room. They had to have me take off my pants, which I was really awkward with it. Which they said it would have been okay if it didn't have the metal zippers on it. Like, I was wearing one of my pair of jeggings, and there was, like, these metal zippers on the side. Like, they don't really do anything, they're just there to look cute. They had me take those off so it doesn't confuse the machine. And then they put the iodine in me, and oh my god, the feeling of that stuff is, like, so weird. Like, I was getting warm, which, that didn't bother me. That's great, because I always get cold, so I was getting warm, and my mouth was getting weird. And the one thing that they said, you're not peeing your pants, it feels like that, which, yeah, I can understand. Like, I was like, oh, I'm not peeing my pants, it's just getting really warm down there. And then, so they had me hold my breath for some seconds, and and then, not hold my, breathe. So that was pretty scary at first. So I was just so glad when the whole thing was done, because I was worried about messing up. I was worried that if I get hurt really bad, I didn't know what it was. And so they were like, okay, your tests are done. Let's take you back in the room and we'll talk about results later. And then so I waited and waited in there for a while, and the nurse came in and said, okay, you're doing fine. Your tests are almost done. Is there anybody for us to call just to come here soon? Because you're going to be done soon. And then I told them to call either my mom or dad's cell phone. And they're like, okay, we'll call your dad's cell phone. So they did. And finally the doctor came in with the papers. And let me tell you, one thing, surprisingly, that I'm very worried of them saying, I'm actually worried of them saying, there's nothing wrong with you. Which I would be like, oh, great. So I'm going to deal with this pain for the rest of my life. I was really worried they were going to say that, but I know this sounds weird when I say luckily, I actually got an answer. The doctor came in and she was like, you got a lot of stool in there. Like, not mean to sound mean or anything, but you're full of poop. Like the phrase, you're full of shit. So, I know you said that you've been dealing with this for years, so if it, continues after, after we try to get yourself cleaned out, then go to your doctor or a gastrologist to talk about a colonoscopy. So I'm like, okay, so if this doesn't go away, I'm gonna have to have a colonoscopy. Which is, if you look up colonoscopy, aftermath on YouTube, people are gonna embarrass themselves there. It's something that they put a vacuum or camera or something up your butt, and they clean out everything, and they also see what's wrong with your stomach, and one of the side effects is ugly, violent farting. Which is there's no poop in there, it's just air, and so they have to fart it out. Which, and most of these people are very high on the medicine, and it will be like, okay, oh, I have to poop. Oh, okay. And then they, again, the farting, it's not the QT little fart, it's if you dare to see it for yourself, just look up colonoscopy patients or colonoscopy farting on YouTube, and you'll find some people having a great time. But yeah, it was hopefully this is all cleaned out before, so I don't have to have that done. But, possibly, and, gotta see what the doctor says tomorrow. But basically, what it is there's, months worth of poop in my stomach, and apparently it was so bad that some of the poop tried to go back in my stomach, and that's why it's hurting. Which, that's weird, I didn't think it can do that, and there's some that's hard and dry. And so they gave me this bottle of stuff, and they said, drink this tomorrow morning. Well, we normally suggest you do it right away, but it's nighttime and you don't want to be up all night pooping. Which, it was a bottle, it was smaller than this. It was maybe this big, maybe this big. And, oh my god, I'm so thirsty. Why this is Mountain Dew and why it looks dark is because I mixed it with, Dr. Pepper. Anywho, it's this liquid laxative stuff, and I am not a fan of laxatives. I know my mom kept on saying, take a laxative, take a laxative, take the laxative, but I have a brutal history with laxatives. There was even a time a few, years ago that I was addicted to laxatives. And yeah, it is something you could possibly be addicted to. I know it's a strange thing to be addicted to, but I was using laxatives for, not gonna lie, but bulimic purposes. And I don't like the taste of it. I don't like the aftermath of it. Especially these little, like, pill laxatives. Like, the laxatives I'm taking right now, they're fine. But that stuff in the bottle, I had to drink that whole bottle, and I did not like the flavor of it, because it was supposed to be lemon flavor, but it was so sour. And just as a note, I'm not really a big fan of lemon in the first place, so that was also an for me. And then hours later, I would not stop going to the bathroom. It was waterfalls. Like, I was, like, going to the bathroom so much that my butt hurts. And so, like, you know, they were getting, like, most of it out of it. It wasn't all of it, but it was most of it out of it. Like, I still have some in there, and that's what we're gonna work with. I was subscribed, Miralax. Which, you know, it's the powdered laxatives that most people do for pranks. Yeah, I had to take that, and, I had to take these packets, I had to mix it up with a glass of water, and I had to drink it every day. I had to take one packet every day. And so far, it's a little decent. It's not 100%, but it's a little decent. Hold on, I had to burp. Excuse me. It is a little decent. And there will be times that I would worry about, like, if I have to fart, I'm worried about farting because I'm like, I don't want to shit my pants. So I had to take this stuff, like, every day until, I think this Friday's the last day, and then we're gonna see, like how my stomach goes. Like, does it go better? Does it go worse? And if it goes worse, they said, just come back and we'll discuss more things to do something about it. But, yeah, so that was why I was in the ER. Like, I thought I was having the same thing that Mark had. That, Markiplier. Like, he had the, bowel blockage that they actually had to do surgery on him to unplug it. Like, I thought I was gonna have that done, but they were like, no, we're just gonna put laxatives on you and poop. So, a bowel blockage is way different than being majorly constipated. Because a bowel blockage is something with the intestines, while being constipated, it just means you have a lot of dried up poop in you. That's pretty much what it is. So, yeah, I'm sorry for this video. Like, a lot of you guys were wondering what I was doing in the ER, and a lot of you guys were fine with it being TMI. And let me tell you, my alpaca bandwagon on Discord, they were really cheering me on, and like, all the love and support from Discord, from Twitter, of this situation. Like, I thought a lot of them would be like, ew, you're gross, but they were like, oh, we're sorry, you can do this, hope you feel better. Like, can't talk. Like, the support of it was absolutely amazing. Like, it really was. But, yeah, that's pretty much what this video is, because a lot of you guys wanted to know what happened, and that's the whole story of what happened. And I'm thinking about some new videos, like, some new Cuphead videos. Like, I'm sorry this video is not Cuphead related. Like, I wore my favorite Cuphead necklace, if that helps. The little jar that I wear. Like, I wore that, if that helps, but other than that, it's not Cuphead related at all, and I'm sorry about that. Like, the next video that's coming up, like, hopefully, if there's no, major bad issues, like, I'll keep you updated. Like, if there's anything worse happening, then I'll keep you guys updated. But if it's just like just like a little burp or something, then no, I'm not going to keep you updated on that. I am thinking about a very exciting Cuphead cold case video, and it's gonna be a while. Like, I don't know if it will come out later this week or next week, but I am really excited for the research in this one. I really am. And you'll understand shortly. Well, you'll understand when the video comes out, which won't be shortly. It would be like either later this week or next week or something. Like, there's going to be more put in these videos, and I'm really excited about that. But I will see you next time. Bye.